It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. Yo, man. Hello, Miss Rusty. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Public Access Podcast on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network, the Podcast. I'm your host, Rusty Diamond, and I am live here in Pennsylvania area. I'm in Pennsylvania, but yeah, Pennsylvania area. It's a big area. October 30th, 2024. And today I have my special guest right here and right now. And my special guest right here and right now is the actor, the actor, Dr. Lance Maddox. Yeah, I gotta do that dance, right? That's the dance. So were you always polite AF or did you become polite AF?
Um,
Polite as F, as a polite AF, I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
Polite
yeah,
as I mean, yeah. I guess that's the question. Whatever way
yeah.
you want. So yeah, you tell me.
Honestly, it Polite AF was it was originated from basically this book. Um, Describes my personality. I try to be respectful, but I try to be direct and I try to be honest. So the AF.
How do you find that balance between those? Because that can sometimes be a hard line to walk there.
Yeah, yeah. So what my aim is and what my goal is to just be honest. And a lot of time, the honesty is not pretty. The honesty is raw. But I would rather tell me in with 100% honesty in good faith the truth about things. You don't have to sugarcoat it because the problem is with sugarcoating or being PC is things can get misinterpreted. And
Very, yeah.
there's a lot of miscommunication. And so therefore let's just be honest about it, and also let's be respectable
Yeah.
towards each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. And and then that can be another hard one to walk too, because then you can get the being direct. Depends where you are. Like if you're in some places where being direct is not not really normal, like on the West Coast, being direct is not normal. There's a lot of they people would rather have you
Mm-hmm.
be nice to your face and then talk shit kind of once you're gone, as opposed to because then yeah, then you don't have there is some parts that could be, taken the wrong way or whatever. And so yeah, I agree with being direct. It's a lot easier and and you know, like if you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor, oh yeah, every once in a while I have a cigarette. But when in reality, you smoke 3 packs a day, and then the doctor's can only really go off what you're saying, and then, you can't really get to the root of what's going on
Yes.
without that. You just kind of it's yeah, sort of helps, but in the bigger picture, it really doesn't mean anything. It's just, yeah, you're only kind of cheating yourself, not being blunt and telling the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also I think it shows a great disservice towards our fellow human, when they don't know our true intentions or our true motives or just our true selves.
Right.
There's just so much fakeness and so much facade and BS that's floating around where, it gets crazy.
Yeah. And so then how do you I mean, so let's say someone's kind of BSing you about what's going what's going on? How do you usually work with that? How does that work?
Honestly, honestly, I'm like, don't piss on my foot and tell me that it's raining. You know,
Yeah,
um, a lot of times we only have one shot at this, so give it to me straight. Let me know what's going on so I can make the best decision possible, because nobody wants to be blindsided. Nobody wants to be hoodwinked, you know.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean that's yeah, it's not just for yourself, yeah, it's for whoever you're talking to, you're telling them and yeah, if they're telling you one thing and you think that, it would be good to do this because they told me that and then yeah, they really meant something that like, oh, this is like a much bigger deal or, I didn't know if you how you'd handle it, so I just didn't say anything. And then yeah, that's gonna eventually come back and
Yes.
bite you in the ass. And
Yes, sir.
yeah. And so yeah, better just to be upfront about it. And so then did that go to writing a book? Was that your book that you wrote? Is that what you were getting at there?
Yes, yes. There was a lot of deception, and that deception still remains. There's a lot of unanswered questions due to that deception, and it's kind of hard to recognize what's real and what's fugazi. You know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so then was it right when you found out that you started writing? Was that your first response to go to? Was it you found out that yeah, it ended up going sideways there and
Mhm.
then you started writing, or was there a time in between when you didn't really know what was going on and then got to writing it, or how'd that go?
Well, honestly, I had a mental break. I had
Okay.
a actual psychological crisis, and I saw professional help. I was on medication for a brief amount of time, but I was trying to find ways to where I can help heal myself. And the only thing I could think of was write down what I'm feeling, write down my emotions, but I did not know how to do that. So I just started telling the story of how we met and got it all out in 9 pages up to that point, and that 9 pages turned into this book.
So when you say you wrote out 9 pages, what do you mean? Do you mean that you had like lined paper? You have did you type it out? Did you write it with a pen or pencil? Did you use a typewriter, computer, your
Mhm.
phone, or a stone and chisel on some slate, or you know?
Nah, bro. So what I did, I went old school and I put pen to paper. Uh, because all while I'm writing, I was still pretty emotional about it. Still mad, still torn, still very tearful. And so I just started just writing, bad grammar, bad spelling, the whole nine. I just wanted to get it out and put it on paper because I didn't know what else to do. I am a stranger, in all honesty, to dealing with emotions
Me
maturely.
too. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah.
yeah. It's a big awakening and a big just like, okay, yeah, that's way different than what I've been doing my whole life. And yeah, this
Yeah.
is gonna be different. And so you were, what was that the first time you had written down your feelings and thoughts and gone that route? Um,
Yes, yes, yes. That was my first experience. I honestly did not know what I was doing all I wanted to do was just get it out so it can be out of my mind because it was quite a burden.
Sure. And
Yeah.
how long was it on your mind before you got it to paper?
I would say maybe a month. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, because a brother was hurting. I was hurting mentally. I was hurting emotionally. And that started to transform into I was starting to suffer. So I was starting to suffer physically.
Yeah. And so were you picking up that that was what was happening, or was anyone around you kind of picking up around you that was that you were hurting, or was it just you kind
Mhm.
of kept it in until one day it was just too much?
Um, when I found out the, I guess, the truth in quotation marks, I sought help immediately. And I alerted my family, this is what's going on. So if my actions become strange, if I disappear, if I crash out, this is why. Um, and yeah, and my I don't think my family knew how to take it. They saw that I was hurting, but they did not know how to comfort me, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I couldn't blame them, but I felt I had to find a solution with myself, a solution that I was comfortable with, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so were what you were seeking from your family, was that comfort, or was it just sort of understanding of what you're going through, or were you I mean, were then after that were you reaching out to someone else, or was that kind of right
Mhm.
before it went to the crash?
hmm I wasn't seeking understanding because I barely understood myself. So I didn't really care if they understood or not. I just needed to let them know this is what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you see my name in the paper or on the news, you knew why I did what I did. And
Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, I was a novice to this whole emotional thing. It's crazy.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
It was 2022,
Okay,
a
so yeah,
couple of years ago.
couple years back. And okay. And so then when you um were you talking with someone when you took it from the 9 page to the full book, or did you take it from the 9 page to your full book and then show it to someone? Um, how'd that work?
Okay, so once I wrote the 9 pages, I just tucked them away, and then I started talking to some outside friends about the crazy situation that is going on. And they're looking at me like, you're lying. You're lying. This is no way. There's no way that this is real. You're lying. You're lying. And then I pulled out the 9 pages. I showed the 9 pages to a friend of mine. She is also a fellow nurse, and she is an ex Mennonite.
Okay.
And I emailed her the pages, and she was like, whoa. And she was like, is this serious? Is this real? And I'm like, yeah. And then she asked, can I show this to a friend of mine? Her sister wrote a book with a with another author who's located in New York. So she sent the 9 pages to that author slash investigator in New York who,
Oh,
yes, who instantly texted me back and was like, I need more.
okay.
Yeah. And
Whoa. Oh,
yeah.
so what happened with you then? What was your thought? Did you want to write more, or were you sort of taken back, and or were you thinking with, I could easily write way more than 9 pages about this, or yeah,
Um, no, so the only thing was going through my mind was I just wanted to share my story. And those 9 pages, that's all I could come up with. But but working with this investigator, working with this author, she knew how to phrase a question in order to get me talking and talking and talking. And that was birthed the book.
so so the book is the 9 pages plus her interviewing you to get more out, and then she wrote it with you, kind of a deal.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. That's awesome. And were there any parts where you got stuck? Like you weren't ready to talk about it, or
Ooh.
you didn't have an answer?
Due to this whole situation, um, and so my character was not misrepresented. I had to be completely naked and honest with 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 myself. And so that was pretty difficult to actually do some self-reflection and to not only promote my good sides, but to acknowledge my bad traits in all this. So it was very healing. Yeah, to
Sure.
actually say those words or to say feelings or to express emotions that I've been holding on to for years, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And so then she would say something. Did she have know what she was the story she was trying to get, or did it just sort of happen as you were telling it, and then she was able to put it all together?
Yes, yes, yes. And so she would ask me a question and I would just start babbling and talking and talking. And then she would stop me and she would ask me about something that I previously said, and then we would go more in depth into
Uh,
that, you know?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, uh, where are the 9 pages now? Are the 9 pages, are they part of that book, or is that something that you just held on to, or that's something you got rid of,
Mhm.
or something that you're gonna put into a separate um pro- or project?
Oh no, those 9 pages was injected with a little steroids, and that's what came the book, the
Yeah.
270 some odd or something like that pages. Yeah,
Whoa.
she knew how to handle me. She also gave me quite a few writing assignments to tell her about this, tell her about that, explain this. Um, yeah, and it was nice to get a lot of things off of my chest, a lot of things out of my head, because my head was very loud. It was very crowded in there.
Sure. And yeah, I mean, not having that beforehand, not having that option to be able to go and let out what was going on in your head, and just, yeah, keeping that all in is gonna be tough there. And so then, do you, I don't know, is that whole story done now, or is that something that is still ongoing.
It is still ongoing. I am marinating on the possibility of a second book in order to complete the story. Um, since this is real life, this is nonfiction. I feel it's at a slower pace because I have to wait until something happens in order to write about it, in order to reflect on it, and all that good stuff. And the court systems, they move rather slowly.
Sure. Uh, and so okay, and so you're waiting on those ones because that will be more of the story of what's going on, and yeah,
Yes.
have a little bit more of explained, a little more explanation of what's going on. And so, is she working with you again? Is she giving you assignments for now to kind of keep you fresh and up to you know, uh, keeping your mind still thinking about that, or what's going
Not
on with
yet.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet. We have not started the whole book two process yet. Right now, I am in the midst of recording the Audible for the book.
Oh, you're doing it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right.
Yes, sir. I also had the book translated into Spanish.
Did
So,
you do that as well, or did?
no, no, no. I
Yeah.
paid a service. Yeah,
Okay.
because a brother,
Not
my Espanol is poor.
not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So and so so I try to stay busy in order to keep my mind active, to keep me straight. Um, but she is aware of the good possibility of a book two. We have discussed different options, different ways to approach this second book. But unfortunately, because this is real life, because the court systems do move slowly, um, I told her, yeah, this may take a little while in order to get some stuff moving again. You know,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, and so then, has anyone involved with the case read the book, or is that the uh part of the court stuff going on too? Is the book part like a piece of evidence in the court?
uh, Great question. No, but the book is it tells all about the case. Um, as best as I know, nobody in the book has read the book, or at least they haven't reached out.
Okay.
And yeah, but but the little petty side of me, of course, because I have 5 commercials made about the book, I made sure those commercials was they were targeted in that area of the country.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And what were your commercials like? What were your how was it were you in the commercials, or what was it, you know,
No,
voiceover or
no. So I paid a video guy in order to do my commercials. I told him about the situation, and I told him, do what you do. You know, I do not want to hinder your greatness. And
okay.
so, in one of the commercials, you hear the actual audio from Family Court.
Whoa.
Yeah, in other commercials, you hear. her response that's being read by someone else. Not only that, in every commercials, you see our pictures. You see me and you see her.
Whoa. Okay. The other person in court.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that got targeted, right? Okay. Has there been anyone else that's reached out to you that's been sort of a surprise in that?
Ah, not yet at this
Okay.
point, but as we speak, the book is being reviewed by the Pulitzer Committee.
Cool. All right. That's pretty exciting there.
Yes, sir.
Wow. All right. And so is it you can get it like at stores and at the library and stuff?
I'm not sure about the library, but you can get it at Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com,
Uh,
Walmart.com, Target.com, anywhere where books are sold.com.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that, man. That might be your new website. That's anywherebooksarsold.com, and then it just
Yeah.
has all of them, and you can pick where you want to get it from. And
Yes.
so uh I guess going back to the part with uh you actually writing it. And so okay, those 9 pages, so are they sitting around your house right now, or are they tucked away somewhere? Are they up on the wall or on the refrigerator? Or
No, they are once I wrote them out, then I transcribed it on my computer to clean up the grammar, to clean up a lot of misspelled words. I'm not the greatest speller,
that's okay.
and then once I put it in that format, I burnt the 9 pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did is there pictures of it, or is it all gone?
Oh, it's all gone.
It's all
It
gone.
is,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is all gone. It is now in a digital format, electronic format, because there was just so much information, so much info, so many court documents. We're talking about the investigator. God bless her. She went through 5,000 plus pages of text messages, of our actual text messages, the same text messages that were submitted to the courts in the state of Kentucky.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, that's a lot of work right there. That's gonna take some time, I guess.
Yeah, bro.
And so, I mean, with yeah. And so you said you were in family court?
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, she involved children into this situation.
And family court
And
is rarely set up to do well for men.
yes,
If
yes.
yeah.
And surprisingly, that's when I found out the truth, I guess, was in family court that there were no children.
Okay. And so was that something that was said by her under oath or something, or how did that
Oh,
come about?
so okay, so when the relationship ended and communication became a pretty much a dumpster fire, that's when I lawyered up so I can get information about our son. The first thing they do in family court is request a DNA test.
Okay.
when she received the court papers requesting the DNA test. That's when she confessed ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She, she just said, "Don't do this." Was she trying to talk you out of doing it, or did she
Oh,
just?
oh no. She had no idea when our relationship ended. She got ghosts. She basically, left me on the side of the road and just kept going. She disappeared. So she had no idea that this was coming until the sheriffs were knocking at her door in order to serve her papers.
Whoa.
And then later
Okay.
on serve her some more papers for civil court as well as her mother.
All right. And then so then you hadn't seen her for a while, and then she showed up at court with her mother, and yeah, I mean, you're sitting there, and you said you wrote that after court
No,
or during court.
I was writing it during court. I was writing it as things were happening. This was, shortly after. Do you remember the time during the COVID situation to where like half of the professions went back to work while the other half stayed home? Well,
Yeah.
that's when we had family court.
Oh,
So court was on Zoom.
okay.
And once the truth was spoken in family court and that ended, that's when I filed a civil case against her and her mother. I and so during the civil case, it's basically been the lawyers in front of the judge filing motions, having subpoenas, contacting T-Mobile. Uh, yeah. So, honestly, I don't think we've really had our day in court yet. Unfortunately, there are just so many unanswered questions that only she can answer. But at this point, after years and whatnot of lying, how do you decipher where the lies stop and the truth start? Because at what point am I supposed to actually believe what she says?
Right. Yeah. If there's not that truth behind that before, and yeah, you just
Yes.
don't really know where to go. And then plus, I mean, you're seeing her through Zoom as opposed to being in person. It still is. I mean, yeah, those Zoom courts are not. Yeah, I don't know. It feels kind of little impersonal, but I mean that's what we had at the time, and that's what we were doing. And so, was it something where you had people? I don't know. Were you like? Did you have someone like kind of reach out to you or ask you kind of what's going on or anything like that? Anyone, or was it just you were the only one reaching out at the point when you started feeling down?
Um, I was the only one reaching out. Um, I I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what steps to take. So I first tried to calm myself down and think
What?
about my next actions.
How'd you do that?
A lot of breathing.
So you were already breathing, or did you pick that up before, or was that something you just did out of instinct?
I did it out of instinct.
Okay.
After years of being a ICU nurse and years of being a Navy corpsman, and dealing with stressful situations, I've learned that regardless of the situation, how chaotic it is, if you can learn to control yourself, if you can learn to center yourself, you can think better, you can act better, and the situation will fall in line.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I did a lot of research. I did a lot of research. Everything I did, I scrutinized my plan. I criticized my own plan. I came up with a plan B to the plan B, just in case plan A didn't work. And that helped to attempt to calm my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And um another question I was going to ask was how are you enjoying doing uh, the uh, reading for Audible and recording for that? How are you doing that? Are you doing that right where you are right now, or?
No, I am here in Daytona. The studio is in Kissimmee, about 2 hours away.
Okay.
Um, Writing your truth, writing even the ugly parts is one thing. Saying it out loud is another thing. You know, to speak your shame. You know, I just had to get through it. Um,
Are you
yeah.
done with it?
No, no,
Oh,
God,
okay.
no. We're on like chapter 4 because
Okay.
yeah, because the problem is trying to coordinate different people's schedule in order to meet so we
Yeah.
can do the recording. You know,
So,
that's been a little challenging.
do you have like a producer there or something, or someone that's just good technically, or?
Hmm. It is me. It is the female voice actress and the studio engineer.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And so the female actress, is she reading as well, or is
She
she?
is.
Okay.
She is. And the strange thing about it is that we used to work together and at my last hospital. And when I told her about it and she got the book, she reached out to me and was like, Lance, let me do this. Let me do this. I know someone. Let me do this. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's get this going.
That part.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And so is she voicing uh the other person in the?
Mhm. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. So she is voicing with a Kentuckian accent.
So what's that like, having someone else say those things that she was saying before that you heard, or is it adding more distance to how you feel about it, or is it kind of bringing it back up, or is it like more, I don't know, is it like a different hearing it in someone else's voice that's not
Mhm.
not the
No,
voice you heard it in first?
uh, no. There is that distance now. Yeah, my heart is settled with this. You know, the last time I felt anything for this young lady, the investigator was like, Lance, I'm gonna need you to do one more thing. She had me go through the text messages and revisit it. And she asked me questions. And that was a strange feeling because even though I went through all this turmoil, all this strife, all this angst, going through those text messages, I started to weirdly feel something for her again. And I felt almost outside of myself. Like, what are we doing? What are
Yeah.
we doing? But but with clearer eyes, I saw how I fell uh into what she was doing. You know, it was
And
yeah.
so, what did you do at that part? Did it throw you off of what you were doing then, and you had to regroup, or did you just notice that thought and pass it
Mhm.
by and get right back to work?
Honestly, when I had my mental break, I mentally fractured into multiple pieces, and my head was loud. And I knew the only way to calm the noise down was to let the emotions speak, was to let everybody have their say so they can shut the hell up. And
Yes.
yeah, and so when I was reading the text messages then, I just let those emotions speak, say what they have to say, and they were quiet. So I've allowed myself, which is strange, still a little bit sometimes, to to feel, to let myself feel. And yeah,
How's that been going? Is it, I mean, if you're not, I mean, you're probably still at least thinking about it, thinking that I should feel this and, take the time. Um, is it been, I mean, it's probably been easier, but is it something that you find you're doing more often than not, or is it still, um, I don't know, because like sometimes I can't, I don't know, this might not be for you, but like sometimes I feel like I can't figure out what's causing me to feel this, and I can't figure out quite what it is that's doing it, and I have to think about it. And so is it just sort of come up and you're like, I know this is something I should be trying to get out, and then when you get it out, is that writing it down or calling someone or talking through it to yourself? That was like seven questions, so if
no
you can
worries.
just answer however you want.
No worries. I mean, now I can speak freely about it without crying. You know, I can speak about my brother's death and not break down. You know, I can speak, and it's still hard to say I was a victim. That word still kind of it kind of dings the pride a little bit to say I was a victim, but she did get the best of me. You know, she's very intelligent. You know, she was thorough, very thorough. Um, so in order to approach this, in order to approach her, in order to face her, I gave her the utmost, and I still give her the utmost respect as far as a opponent.
And yeah,
Yes,
I mean, that has to be kind of difficult at sometimes to stay with that and try to be respectful. I mean, I assume sometimes some thoughts come in your head of, I could do this, but what's that really gonna do for me or for her coming
yes,
up, down the line, and how is that really gonna make things easier? And I mean, that's a hard one there. And
yeah.
yeah, and and I mean, so like when you're going back through those text messages and I mean, were they all, was this something after you got a hold of T-Mobile and they sent it to you, or did you have stuff you took screenshots of and had to go through that?
Great question. Great question. So I
Nice.
originally took screenshots.
Okay.
It
And so, and that's probably the the worst things that are going on that you would be like, I need to take a screenshot of this to show someone, or they're never going to believe me. So
Yes.
it's probably stuff that's pretty intense.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And once we produce those 5,000 pages of text messages, I guess her lawyer was like, I don't believe you. So her lawyer subpoenaed T Mobile and they requested phone records and text records. So even though there are confessions, I supply the text messages. She was basically like, I don't believe you, prove it. So they subpoenaed T Mobile. Shortly afterwards, she dropped them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Figured
yeah,
out, okay, yeah, maybe. I think they got me. I think they got this. He's telling the truth.
yeah.
And wow, okay. And so have you gone the speaking route yet? Have you gone and done the uh speeches at places and doing,
Mhm.
I don't know what the word
Yeah.
is I'm looking for, but
Any speaking engagement? No, no, but
yeah,
I am trying. I've done a few podcasts. I've done a few social media posts. Um, it is hard as a unknown new author.
yeah,
You are just basically a face in the crowd. You know, unlike these celebrities who may have a ghostwriter, you slap their picture on the front cover. Now they're number three on the New York Times bestseller list.
right.
You know, um, so I am doing my best to promote it. I'm doing my best uh, to get this book out, but I also have to be true to myself. You know, a lot of readers, maybe most readers are females. And, females know how to write to their audience. I wanted to keep my voice, to keep my masculinity, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's been a little struggle because I've I've watched multiple speakers, and they are great speakers. They are very intelligent. They are very charismatic.
So are you.
A lot don't. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot don't speak to me. I want somebody to speak to me like we are homeboys, homegirls. We're sitting watching the game, shooting the shit, being honest, being open, not afraid of the judgment from my friend because they know my true spirit, and so to speak to me in that way, and personable. And then not only that, I want somebody who is just not book smart, who didn't just go to college for 4 years, get a bachelor's, get a master's, doctorate, whatnot, and then can recite some chapters and whatever lessons that they learned in school. I want somebody who's actually been through some turmoil, who's grown, who's learned, and who's willing to share about their experience. So then, therefore, I can see this person gets it. This person understands because this person has been there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so what would a space like that look like where it's you just with your homeboys and homegirls shooting
Mm-hmm.
the shit? Like I mean, so would that be, at a friend's house or something where you just you have, yeah, I don't know, yeah, who it
Yeah,
would be, and then, or like, I mean, even I think like with libraries, you might even be able to have something there too. But I don't know, like what would be your place, where you feel most comfortable, and then yeah, that's where you should go. I mean, and then there's people out there who have been through the same, and there's probably also online speaker summits, like where you
yes.
have, you know, 5, 6 speakers and talking in front of a group of people uh, who have experienced sort of similar stories in a way. And yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, there's a lot of avenues to go down with that. And uh, yeah, and then yeah, you get to also do the recording for the Audible. And and that seems like that's becoming more of a bigger thing now. A lot of people listening to audiobooks. It's still good to read, but sometimes it's hard to find the book.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's easier just to get it. But I mean, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, what I can say is, I'm just going to generalize.
sure,
Dudes, we don't really normally read like that. If it's not a Audible or maybe
yep,
on TV, something has to catch our attention to be like, you know what, I can rock with that.
yeah,
Whatever just happened registers with me. You know, it's as strange as it may seem. Prisoners.
yep.
Uh,
Would be not a bad idea either. And
yeah.
would that be something you'd be open to doing and going to a prison and talking there?
Yes, yes, yes. Because this book has to deal with love. This book has to deal with deceit. This book has to deal with the court system. This book has to deal with the inability to handle a very emotional, a very stressful situation, which a lot of prisoners, all of those are mixed into while they're there. You know,
Yeah,
whatever happened to get them in there. But the only drawback is that if I, supply the books to prisons, are they gonna rip out the pages, roll them up, and smoke them?
maybe they might, but hopefully they read what was on them before. Like
I know, right?
yeah. But there's a lot of prisons in this country. There are a lot. And I mean, that's a whole bunch of places to go. And that's like, just even getting through to one is always still a win. Just maybe it's gonna make one person's life easier and more like they feel like they're heard, and they can learn something from what you've gone through and maybe make their life a bit easier and
Yes.
better. And so yeah, I mean, I hope you get out. And if not, I mean, you have your book, and so that's gonna get a lot of people that are able to get helped and get something better going. And so you were saying that you can find the book on wherever you find books.com, I think is what the website was that
Yeah, yeah.
your
Something like that.
yeah, your next venture. And so there's that. And so how else will people find you to get a hold of you or work with you?
um, sure, they can find me on TikTok at
Ooh, what do you do on
polite.
TikTok? Do you shake your ass?
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Let's see. I have the commercials posted on TikTok.
Okay.
I also talk about dating on TikTok.
Okay.
And I try to be honest as far as the dating, and I think there's a lot of nonsense. Um, there's a lot of things that may not be my type of speed as far as dating, or there's some things that I don't understand, like unspoken rules of
Uh,
dating that I
yeah.
question, you know, that, yeah, because I would like an open and honest conversation, you know?
Yeah. How would you
Yeah.
ever know that? How are you supposed to know an unspoken, unwritten rule? How it's yeah. Like, why can't you just tell me what it is and I
Yeah.
can do that for you?
Yeah.
We're done. You're
Yeah.
good.
Like, for instance, who texts first in the morning? Who who reaches out first in the morning?
Right. That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that? Why is that a great question? That's just, yeah, I mean, I assume it's probably expected that, the man or whatever is the
Yes.
one expected to reach out, but I wouldn't know that for sure. It's just, I had a 50-50-ish guess
You are
of it
correct.
being, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, that's not really fair. That's how's anyone supposed to know that unless there's yeah, there should be if that is the case, if it's the actual case that okay, guys are supposed to reach out first and say good morning or whatever it is, great.
Mm-hmm.
But put that in a book and let's get this book going. Let's get it all set out. This is what you got
Exactly.
to do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that idea. Um,
Yeah.
okay, and so maybe have you gone on a dating podcast? Someone that works with like relationship coaching and stuff?
Not yet.
If not, I can recommend you to someone. I'll send you that later. I think that could be a fun one to do.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. I might have a couple in there of those. I know at least one for sure though. But okay, so you have the TikTok and your book and anywhere else?
Yes. Oh yeah. I am on Instagram.
Okay.
Uh, the polite AF. I'm pretty sure that's just, yeah, and all these socials. I'm on X, Twitter, polite
Okay.
AF. And oh, you also YouTube, polite AF.
Uh,
So my longer form videos are on YouTube. Um, and yeah, dating has changed so much, and it continues to change. Maybe I'm slow adapting to it, whatnot, but honestly, if it doesn't make sense, doesn't make sense. You
that's
know?
okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. It's a lot easier than a headache.
that part.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it was difficult. Um, yeah. Have you done online dating or is that not anything you've gone towards?
Um, that is how I met this psychologist from Kentucky. It was
Okay.
online dating. And since that experience, unfortunately, that has changed me. Because I used to be very optimistic. You know, I used to be, I'm going to take you at your word because if you've never lied to me, then why should I think you are lying to me? And besides, what do you get from lying? You know,
Right.
because you're wasting time, you're bullshit, and who has time for that? Just be honest about your intentions, what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like. But I guess not everybody got that memo.
Yeah. It wasn't part of the stuff that was written down as the rules of life.
Yes, sir. There you go. Yeah.
And so then I guess I have one last thing. So you said that to make it every something stand out from the crowd, you need a little something to catch the attention. What was that in yours? What's the thing that's gonna grab someone's attention for to pick up your book?
This is what I think will grab somebody's attention. This is spoken from a man's point of view and a man that is being honest about himself, his background, how he grew up, and the situation that happened. There is no sexism in the book. Nobody's bashing men, nobody's bashing women. It's coming from a male's voice. It's coming from a male's point of view. And this situation is unusual, to say the least. It is a outrageous situation. Um, to where it does make you stop and think, like, what the fuck are we doing? You know?
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
part.
And here it is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
okay, yeah.
You will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life?
I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
Thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate you
No
doing the
problem.
show. And yeah, I'm glad we got to talk and yeah, get to wherever we got to. And yeah, I'm glad we did this. So um cool. Well, yeah, I will I'll get this over to you later today and yeah, I'll if I have you back here sometime next year and
No
we
problem.
can we can go from there and I'll send you uh the relationship coach's information and
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay,
do that.
cool.
Cool.
Cool. Do you want me to send you some of the commercials? Because maybe you can splice those in to be like,
Yep.
you know,
Uh, I'll go I will do that right now. I will yeah, I'll go on your YouTube page and I'll snag one and throw
okay.
that up on there. And I'll throw that at the beginning.
All right,
Cool. All
cool.
right. Well, hey, well, fucking yeah. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy Florida, man. Not Florida man. Are you so do you know Florida man or my friend told me this.
Yeah.
He lives in Texas and he told me
Mhm.
if uh if you don't know who Florida man is around you, that you are probably Florida man. If like you don't recognize who it is. Have you found Florida man or are you Florida man?
Bro, I live around Florida, man. I work with Florida, man. Most of my patients are Florida men. The crazy thing is, I understand Florida, man.
I like it. I think I did too. When I go down there, I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I get it. I think this might be me. If I move down there, I might, yeah, I can at least understand Florida man. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, hurricanes are devastating. I, I am not going to downplay them at all. But outside, while it's going on, the wind, the rain, just being in it,
yeah,
that that shit is fun. A hurricane party, bro. a hurricane party is the bomb. It's just a few people getting together partying. If the lights go out, if you lose power, you're having a party. You know, if something happens, you're there with a group of people, you help each other. If not, you laugh, you're just relaxing because there ain't shit you can do about it. So,
Yeah.
you might as well enjoy this moment. But yeah,
Had you
man.
heard of a had you heard of a hurricane party before you moved down there?
See, I was born here.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, man. When I got out of the Navy in '04, we had Daytona or Central Florida was hit with three hurricanes, three in 3 separate weeks. So one week hurricane one, next week another hurricane, the third week a third hurricane. But for that first hurricane, just happens to be somebody's birthday party. So I went to that, which turned out to be a hurricane party. Oh, so much fun. I mean, lights went out the whole nine. We're outside with lights, acting like stupid drunken kids. It was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty good way to spend it if you're gonna
I
do
mean,
it.
yeah,
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 if you're there anyway, may as well fucking party. So
exactly.
yeah,
Florida man.
I like it. I like it. Cool. Well, fucking good talking with you, and we'll stay in touch. All right.
Yes, sir. Awesome,
Uh,
bro.
all right.
All right,
Later.
then. All right, peace.
Peace. All right. That's Dr. Lance Maddox. So yeah, um, we'll get him talking some places. I think that'll be good. That'll be good for everyone. So thank you everyone for being here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. Check me out, rustydiamond.net, hypnosisisgreat.com, popuphealing.net, whatever you want. Check this out on YouTube or Rumble, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And that is the show, man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.